Yeah, of the pro pickleball players you've played with, who's the best golfer and who's the worst golfer?
Who's the worst golfer right now that I play with? I don't want to say he's the worst, but I don't remember. But I just remember him like hitting houses left and right. I wouldn't invite him to a golf course. He would show up with some Crocs and some underwear and the same shirt he's been using for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, wait. Who else doesn't get invited to these games? Who else doesn't get invited to these foursomes, Fed? All right, let's talk protein. We all say we're going to hit our numbers and then life happens and suddenly we're eating random snacks instead of real food. I know that because I did that today. Maui Nui makes that a whole lot easier. Their venison is insanely nutrient dense, super clean, and packed with real protein from wild excess deer that roam free on Maui. No feedlots, no hormones, no junk, just clean, delicious meat that actually supports muscle, recovery, and performance. And the flavor is next level. The stuff is aged for 14 days, so it's tender and rich, not gamey or heavy. Once you try it, it's hard to go back to regular beef. Go to mauinuivenison.com/thedink to grab the Ohana Reserve box, and they'll hook you up with a free 12-pack of jerky sticks with your first order. That's mauinuivenison.com/thedink. MAUINUI venison.com/thedink. It is so good. I'm not a huge beef stick guy, but Maui Nui venison definitely tastes different, and you can tell the difference. I pounded about 10 of them this weekend when I was working with Jenny and the Miss Austin organization because I was there all day and didn't have any snacks. Super glad I brought my 12-pack of Maui Nui venison sticks. Only got 2 left. So, Maui Nui, you got to hit me up with some more. Welcome back to the Pickle Pod. We had the biggest event of the entire year with Worlds in Dallas this past weekend, and the emotions were running unbelievably high. We had some crazy bad calls. We had some crazy emotions. We had some, almost physical altercations. I obviously talk with T-Dog, High T, about everything that happened, but Federico Staksrud also stops by, and we kind of go through his year and what led to that really emotional semifinal match that, he ended up crying in the interview and sort of releasing all that. We kind of break down how we got to that point, what this all means for Fed, and we talk about which pickleball players are the best and worst golfers. So it's a fun episode of the Pickle Pod. All right, Hi T, welcome back to Pickle Pod. Monday after Worlds, what were your impressions?
I mean, Worlds was awesome. I think it was the premier event of the year. Concerts, celebrity exhibition games with some good celebrities, like 10 days of pro pickleball, like just a lot of players were there for 2 weeks straight. So I thought it was one of the best run, if not the best event of the year.
Yeah, definitely. There was so much going on. And you hit on the celebrity events. The celebrities are actually pretty good. Like, that used to be kind of a dumpster fire. And you can even look
Right.
at T.O. from last year compared to this year. Like, T.O. was the star of the show. Last year he could barely hit a ball. This year he was actually hitting patterns and counters and stuff. Like, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen him actually play in a real tournament before. And obviously the top level pros are very athletic in pickleball. I'm not disparaging anyone here. But watching T.O. go from the baseline to the kitchen line in 1.5 steps in what feels like 1.5 seconds is unbelievable. And you're like, oh, got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, so, and then we also had a couple of other people. We had Dirk was back. Dirk is Dirk.
Yep.
Got lobbed a couple times. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Dirk should not be getting lobbed, dude. But we
I
also
tried to think about that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what were you saying?
I was trying to think about the Dirk lob. He's 6'8", I believe. So
I think he's taller than that, no?
Well, I mean, but okay, let's just guesstimate his reach. He's reaching probably 8.5 feet, 8 to 8.5 feet. So to lob over him,
his height is 7 feet. He's a 7-footer.
Okay,
you got to imagine just reaching has got to be another 2 feet at least. Like, look, my
Yeah.
arm is probably at least 2 feet. So, I mean, he can probably touch the rim standing. So maybe let's say 9.5 feet. And then you got a foot and a half of paddle. It's 11 feet.
And he's still getting lobbed somehow. It was incredible.
That is incredible. That's crazy, Dirk. Dirk's got to retire from pickleball. You can't
Well,
be
I
getting
mean,
lobbed as a 7-footer.
I agree. But also, I can't imagine what his knees feel like when he wakes up in the morning.
That's true too. He does look like he is in considerable amounts of pain out there.
Yeah.
It does not look fun to move from point A to point B for Dirk.
Right. But I mean, he's still good at pickleball. Like for a 7-footer, kind of crazy.
Yeah. You know who I thought was a really cool addition, and you probably don't even know who this guy is, but Tifu. You know who Tifu is?
Yeah. Yes, we went over this. I know I'm old and I am out of touch, but I do know that he's a streamer online and he mostly streams Fortnite. I do know who Tifu is.
Okay. Dude, it looks like he's starting his own paddle company too.
I thought I saw that and I was like, no, chance. Okay, maybe he is. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, there hasn't been an announcement yet, but there's a lot of circumstances, right? He is wearing a Hit hat, right? Which is
Yeah.
the brand that got UPA approved that Hunter was using. He's watching Hunter the entire time, and the Hit paddle is called the hand cannon, which was one of Tifu's favorite guns in Fortnite, the hand cannon. Like,
Got it.
that'd be a crazy coincidence if he's not somehow involved in this paddle company.
Agreed. And you and I are both conspiracy theorists enough to not believe in so many coincidences. So I would tend to agree with you that like eventually some sort of announcement will be made.
Yeah, 100%. There's no way we landed on the moon. Not a chance. Anyway.
Oh wow. Okay.
Dare I? No. I'm not gonna make. Yeah, that conspiracy theory is too far. Leave a comment. What conspiracy theory do you guys think that I believe that I just can't say on here? Be an interesting one. Very inappropriate. Anyway, Isabella Dunlop is good at pickleball. You
Yep.
see her?
Yeah.
Do you know if she has a PPA contract? And then for those of you guys who don't know, Isabella upset Angie Walker this tournament. She had gone 3 sets with Leia a couple tournaments ago, so you don't go 3 with Leia if you're not really good at pickleball.
Yeah, I don't believe she is a signed player because I think she still came out of qualies this time. But making that far of a run at Worlds could be a good thing and a bad thing because she might break the top 50 there and then not be able to play qualies anymore. So we'll see if she signs or not. I think she's also won or definitely medaled at some challengers as well. She's good.
Interesting. Okay. Well, she might be in the same boat as Rika Fujiwara. Rika upset Salome Davidze in the first round, and
Yes.
Rika is a former Japanese professional tennis player, still Japanese, but former tennis player.
Yep. Great
and-
clarification for the audience there, Zane. Thank you for that.
You know what? This is a serious podcast, so we got to make sure we
Very
have our facts
serious.
correct. She was ranked as high as number 84 in singles and number 13 in doubles, and this was her very first pro pickleball tournament in the States, according to pickleball.com. She'd played one somewhere else. This is the first pro one. Comes through qualies, beats Salome, loses to Leia, probably in the top 50 and can't play again.
Yeah. She also won like nearly $900,000 in her career, like, and played for Japan multiple times. But yeah, I mean, she did play and beat somebody in one of the PPA Asia Tour events. I can't remember exactly which one, and then came over here. Really great result. Like Salome could make the finals any given weekend, and to beat her in the first round is absolutely wild. Good for her. And I would like to I have never seen her play doubles, so I don't know what that game is like. I do know that she is playing, I just saw it announced, she's playing in a World Pickleball League thing in India later this year on a team. So maybe I'll get to catch her in doubles because I have not seen that yet.
Interesting. Yeah, neither have I. Yeah, I mean that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully she at least signs PPA Asia or something or another, because
Right.
you don't want this to be the last we really see of her too much.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some controversy.
Oh
yeah. Come on. Worst, probably the worst, probably the most egregious out call I've ever seen. Maybe not egregious, but in by the largest margin out call I think I've ever seen not get overturned.
Okay, for sure, yeah. There's a couple that come to mind, but they were like replayed or like overturned. But yeah, for those that aren't aware, it was a women's doubles match. I think it was round of 64, no, 32.
It
And
was either 64 or 32.
yeah, on a side court, Zane's favorite referee was involved again for the third time running.
The Angel
And
Hernandez of professional pickleball.
and Sophia Trang, and I can't remember her partner's name. I apologize. Seema, I believe, is the last name. Played Allie Phillips and Olivia McMillan. And Allie Phillips just called a terrible ball. Like the ball was, what would you say, 2 feet?
It was probably 2 feet inside the line is what it looked like.
Yeah, 2 feet inside the line, no exaggeration. I posted about it on X. I saw it that night, and I was like, what happened? And it was just an atrocious line call. Like, to be fair, I asked some pro players, like, hey, is this like a normal thing? Because I have not heard Allie's name before in terms of like a hook or anything like that.
Yeah.
Every pro player I talked to said that's not her MO. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt in terms of like this not being a perennial like problem or issue. Also in that match, if you saw it was posted briefly, but there was also she had a terrible line call on a wide dink as well. So it's just
Oh yeah.
frustrating. Like,
I mean, I saw that one. I was like, yeah, I guess that probably looks in, but the angle's horrible. I didn't really put much thought into that sideline call. Yeah, I didn't know of Allie or Olivia. They definitely don't have the reputation of hooks, and it was like
right.
was one of those that you're turning around. Doesn't excuse it, but I think they're not. This is the first time we've seen them, right? Like, I think there's a little bit of grace to be had there, and I'm pretty sure Allie apologized profusely on some post or another. I didn't actually see it, but
Yeah, on some sort of Facebook something, or I mean, she got roasted, and everybody I talk to says she is not the type of person that like wants to win while doing that. So I can't imagine that feels great in the morning when you're like trying to move on to the next round and getting all this social media hate for it.
yeah, no. Yep, but I do have a good authority that we are going to have a solution, I think, pretty soon here. I think a lot of
Do not get my
my
hopes up.
yeah, maybe. I think a lot of my suggestions are being implemented in the process. It might take a little while, but I think that we've actually acknowledged, like, yeah, this is a problem. It's not going away. I'm encouraged.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, the devil will
that's a
be in the
step.
details. We'll see how any of this stuff is implemented, but at least there are things in the works now. Previously, they're just like somebody would hook and be like, "Oh, that sucks." Now there is actually stuff in motion, so that's good.
Great.
All right. Well, we don't have to get into this, but I am gonna just say that I am right once again on this hinder distraction rule because we had another hinder distraction controversy in the Kate and Dylan versus Vivian and Hunter match, ruled in a way I'd never seen before. Once again, they're all new and unique. So get rid of it. No distractions. Move on. End this debate. But I'm gonna keep talking about it until we get something done. So
That seems fair.
yeah, Christian got a pretty brutal draw against Chris Hayworth in the round of 16. Yikes.
Yeah, I am so glad Chris Hayworth did well and got second here because that like you and I have been talking about this for what feels like a month. Like even him at think he was the 13 seed this time. Like that's just unfair. Like it's unfair for the top seed. Somebody's going to get him in the round of 16. Unfortunately, it was Alshon, but with him winning all these points, he's definitely got to be like top 8, top 7, top 5, something like that. I
No.
can't. My mathing is like difficult.
They updated the rankings immediately. They hadn't updated the rankings for like weeks. They have the rankings from Worlds up already, which is wild because normally it takes
But like, weren't you and I just talking about it last week? Like, oh well, this hasn't been updated in 3 weeks.
yeah. So before
Oh,
Worlds, it hadn't been updated for weeks. Now Chris is at he's at number 6, just behind Jaume in the rankings.
that makes sense to me. Like now, no one's gonna get stuck in the round of 16 playing Chris Hayworth. That's a top 8 seed. Like, so I think that is a good thing for him to be where he's at then.
Yeah, no, definitely. But Christian does always seem to get a kick out of the fact that when he loses to Chris Hayworth, he's like, at least I'm losing to somebody with using my own paddle. So great marketing for him and Paddle Tech, because Chris keeps using a blacked out Paddle Tech for singles.
Oh, I knew he was using a blacked out paddle. I didn't know which one, and that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Yep. At what point does Christian get a losing record to his own signature paddle? That would be pretty. That'd be pretty wild.
That would be crazy.
Controversy, big pickle controversy in the. Oh, here's a conspiracy theory that I can actually talk about, unlike my really inappropriate one. Big Pickle is trying to make Anna Leigh's singles matches more interesting. So, if you watch
How?
this against Caitlin Christian, Anna Leigh gets down. Caitlin gets up 9-4. Anna Leigh comes back to 7-9. And at some point during this time, Anna Leigh had challenged a ball incorrectly, and she had also gotten a technical warning for walking off the court and not calling a proper timeout. And there was some conversation about whether or not that had been reversed or not. So anyway, there was confusion there.
Yep.
Anna Leigh brings it back to 9-10. Caitlin looks like she misses a return. Anna Leigh calls it out, and Caitlin challenges. The ball is found to be in, and it should be a side out to Caitlin, but since she was out of challenges and since she had already been assessed a technical warning for this
Yep.
incorrect timeout, Caitlin gets the point and wins the game.
Yeah. Got it. So you're saying they're artificially making it more entertaining? Is that what you're saying? Or
I'm
maybe Anna
saying
Leigh should just like go like this when she's walking off. Is that what you're saying?
nope. I'm saying big pickle conspiracy.
Got it.
Trying to tear down Anna Leigh Waters to make not tear her down, but make her matches more interesting.
I mean, yeah, she's really freaking good right now. Like 530 days of not losing. Listen, I have a rant to go on here for a second.
I love a T rant.
Like I saw on social media sometime this weekend something like the following. Anna Leigh is not nearly as good as the commentators make her out to be. She's very beatable.
Mm.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Okay. So in 2025 alone, okay, she's won 11 titles. She has not lost one match.
Singles
and so
title.
there's singles title. We're just talking about singles right now because that person was only talking about singles. So she's won 11 singles titles in the year, and there's 5 rounds for her in every one of those events because she gets to skip whatever that first round is. Maybe she starts in the round of 32
64.
or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. So that's 55 times 11 is, I don't know, a hell of a lot of pickleball matches. That's like 165 games. 165 games. Sorry, I corrected myself. She's lost 3 games total. So she's 165 and 3. Like,
wait, wouldn't she be
what?
110 and 3 because she wins 2 games?
2 games times, so that's 10. Yes.
2 games
Okay.
times 55
We'll get there. Yep.
matches.
We'll get there. So you're at 110, right? Okay. Either way, doesn't really matter. But I think you're more correct than me. 110 and 3. So that's like a 97 or 98 win percentage in games, not just matches. She's only lost 3. Do you think you could name the 3 without missing one that she lost to?
Yeah,
A game.
Kate Fahey, Caitlin Christian. I am going to throw in. Oh man, I feel like it's got to be either Paris or Leia, or a sneaky like Georgia or something. I'm gonna go with Leia stole one off of her.
Good guess. Incorrect. Brooke got her in a
Oh
game
yeah, that's right.
in Mesa. In Mesa. So there's 3. Like, it's absolutely insane. And to your point, we got to do something to make it entertaining. So let's give some technical fouls and some points awarded. I guess.
I need those like safety counters. I need like a days since Anna Leigh lost.
I
last
know.
singles match counter in my. I might actually just get one of those.
I know this is like a little off topic and very nerdy, but because I keep all of those like I talk about it in articles and on the pod and stuff. I actually do have an Excel sheet where it's saved, where because if you use the formula equals today, you can always get it like it will update itself. So I always know it's saved because it saves me a bunch of time.
Because you're writing about it a good amount. I'm gonna need that
Yeah.
formula because I'm basically putting that in every YouTube video I do now until she
Right.
loses. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's get to a couple more things because we got Kyle Yates coming on the podcast to talk about
Let's go.
the international pickleball tournament that happened last week. Federico, total crybaby. What was up with that?
I love that, dude. I it's like
Wait,
I don't
actually,
know.
don't spoil it. We got Federico coming on as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's just talk shit about him for a little bit. I'll let you go first.
Sometimes he gets very pouty and walks around real slow when he's not playing very well, and it's really annoying for the other players. And to be honest, it's a little annoying for the viewership, but I completely understand the gamesmanship and respect it.
Wow, way to just trash Federico. He's our guest here, Tice. It's
He's one
unbelievable.
of my favorite players to watch. It is what it is. Like, yeah, does he have some antics? Yeah, but like, also not many other people show emotion as well as him, and like really put in the work as much as him. So, hats off.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan. Excited to chat with him. Doing that tomorrow morning, but still part of this podcast. So
Okay, so I do have a bold prediction for next year. Uh, based on the medal count. So to catch up, if you've been living under a rock for a while, Anna Leigh just passed Ben for the most amount of gold medals on the PPA tour. Ben is now at 167. Anna Leigh is 168. That means she needs 32. I actually got some math right here on this podcast.
Yep.
Thank God. And she needs 32 to get to 200. My bold prediction after doing some mathy math and some looking at some events is she gets her 200th career gold medal at Worlds 2026 a year from now.
interesting. So 32 would mean a little over 10 Triple Crowns. How many events
Yep.
are before Worlds? Worlds this year was what, the 13th PPA event?
I don't know. It's really tough because we only have the schedule up through May. So that's why I'm saying it's a bold prediction. I don't know the number of events between now and then. And there's definitely some opens that she's going to skip for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this year has probably been the most. I'd be curious to know your perspective on this, but I think this year has been the most physically grindy year of professional pickleball. Most players have a ton of events in their contract. Last year we didn't have like as drawn out of an MLP season, but this year we did. Man, this year I feel like a lot of people are falling apart at the end of this year.
For sure. I would say a couple things on that. First of all, like the off season didn't exist this year. Like the winter before, it felt like more of an off season. Now, if you're a player that plays a bunch of tournaments, maybe you do take an off season in between like Worlds and Masters, right? Like that's what 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. But like
Yeah.
if you need your tournament, if you need to hit your quota on your tournament still, you're playing Lakeland, you're playing another one. There is really no off season. And then when you get to the quote unquote off season, it just turns into MLP. So I agree. Like there's a lot of players out there that are nursing some smaller injuries that are just nagging and nagging and nagging. I would say probably if I had to venture like an actual guess, I would say 50% of the players are not optimal in terms of health right now.
Yeah, no, I was 50 feels like a lot, but I do think there's a lot of. Yeah, that's interesting. I'd be curious to know what tennis is like. Like, I mean, even AL's got her knee wrapped. Like, I got my wrist
Yeah.
hurt. Like, everybody's got a little something. Most people are kind of playing through, but yeah, definitely not optimal. I feel like you play this sport more than you play other sports. Even the top level, I feel like you play more pickleball than you do tennis. Obviously, there's the outliers of 3 out of 5 set matches where Alcaraz will play 6 hours in a day, but
Yeah.
Ben and Anna Leigh on semifinal Saturday, championship Sunday, they're probably getting up there back like on multiple days, right? Anna Leigh's singles match is probably like half an hour, 45 minutes normally, right? But a 3 out of 5 mixed can be 2.5 hours on its own. And so can women's if it's long. It's not usually,
Right.
but I mean, like, even if doubles is only an hour, mixed is only an hour, and singles is a half hour, that's still 2.5 hours for as light of a possible championship Sunday as you can get.
Right. And it basically is the same for the semifinals too. I mean, obviously they're not 3 out of 5, but like you're kind of, she especially is playing that. And also, I guess I don't think one is like more difficult than the other, but like you're talking about Alcaraz going 6 hours, like at least he's going straight. Like it's like play, sit for 2.5 hours, get back ready. And Anna Leigh every player is very different in regard to their warm up, but Anna Leigh wants her warm up and she wants to hit a ton of balls. Like anybody who's been at a pro event sees her warming up like crazy before every single match. And she does not really change that very much, even if she is playing a bunch back to back. She will still get the warm up reps in. So it's a lot of like warming up, cooling down for her.
Yeah, and there's no day off afterwards too. Like Grand Slams and tennis, you got the next day off. Sometimes two. Basically, what I'm saying is this sport's way harder than tennis, Tice. Alcaraz couldn't do this in pickleball.
Stop it.
You know, in my old age, now that I've turned 30, I'm enjoying trolling the tennis players more and more.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell.
Sweet. All right, T. We have Kyle Yates coming on now. One of the original goats. Yeah. So thank you for popping on. Hi, T. And we will talk to you next week.
Sounds good.
Today's episode is sponsored by Trulieve. If you're looking to stay on your top of your game both on and off the court, they've got you covered with powerful plant-based wellness support. They've built a product lineup of safe, reliable cannabis products that fit right into your schedule, whether you're looking for something for balance, relief, or recovery without breaking your sweat. Their team of associates can help you find exactly what you need, no matter your experience level. So head to trulieve.com to learn more about their products and how to get your medical cannabis card.
All right, Fed, welcome back to the pod. It's been a little while.
Yeah, you're right. You only call me if I do good things or really bad things.
Wait. When's the last time you did something really bad where I called you?
When I did the thing of the ref with Hunter, remember? We had a conversation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Is this the same thing? Is it, or is it a different podcast?
Oh, no, it's the same deal. Same deal.
Okay.
Yep, we're still rolling. Yeah, huge fan of the podcast over here. Federico Staksrud, everybody. Nah, dude, you got to do something interesting to get on the podcast.
Yeah, you're right. I like it. I know. Yeah. I respect. I'm just telling you that's why I haven't been in the podcast for a long time.
Fair enough. Honestly, well, actually, like that's kind of part of what I feel like made you so emotional this year is like, or Worlds. You know, for your standards, beginning of 2025 was not a good year for Fed Staksrud play wise, right? Or result wise. Would you say that's a fair critique?
Yeah, for sure. The first tournament of the year was Masters, and I made 3 finals. And that was my last tournament with Yola as a sponsor athlete with Yola. And right after that, kind of like it became tough. It became tough for sure. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I was always still kind of like there though. Like I was doing finals. I was still competing. Then they changed the ball. It was tough to get used to it for me especially. And then I mean now everything seems like it's going back to what it was, and it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, there's a few different things to sort of like unpack from early year. Like I'm sure you probably don't want to get too into this, but the correlation between changing from Yola to Adidas and the singles results declining for a period of time where it was pretty clear. First tournament, you lost to the Aussie player in the first round, and you did get a bunch of pretty bad draws throughout the year, whether that's drawing Alex Crum early in the draw or Chris Hayworth early in the draws. Like you got screwed by some kind of bad draws early on. And I've said a few times, I feel like the change from the Vulcan ball to the Lifetime ball hurt you and Ben Johns more than anybody early on. Would you say that that's a fair sort of stance on that early on?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think changes are always gonna kind of like hurt someone more. When power paddles came into the game, that helped me. My counters were not the heaviest, and I kind of like immediately got better doubles by just adding the power paddles because I have the consistency. I could create shots, but I was kind of like maybe missing a little more heavy hands. And with the power paddles, that helps out a lot. Now it's the ball. The ball kind of like hurt me a little bit, but I think that's what's cool about it. Just trying to find changes and getting used to it. But yeah, definitely lifting the ball is the biggest thing because we're literally hitting balls from the baseline, which I was not used to. I was just always used to returning and just covering the line, and that was my thing. That's how I was getting to the finals almost every tournament last year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you did such a good job of you were taking the ball early and taking the ball on the rise better than anybody else in the game and taking time away from the opponents. But now when you can pass a little bit easier with this lifetime ball and you can't quite dip it as much, it sort of made you reinvent your game a little bit. And so I'm super curious, like, what has changed over the last couple of weeks with the lifetime ball where you now have 3 titles again towards the end of this year?
Yeah. With that being said, let me say this before. Honestly, with all the respect to Volkan, I don't know how we played so long with the Volkan after playing ML pickup. Like that was hard. Like when you get used to like true bounces and real bounces, and then you go back to that was. I mean, for me especially, I was like, wow, this is hard. Like you have to like kind of like be reactive to the ball bouncing. But yeah, I mean, what I honestly what the biggest change was I had to get more pace on my baseline shots. I was just, too used to just following the ball, but now like I'm trying to rip a little more. I'm trying to, see, okay, the serve, if the serve is good, we're going to have to stay back and then maybe come in the next one. And that's okay. Like before, when I used to play singles and last year, let's say, I will return the ball and stay back. I'm like, okay, I lost the point probably. Now it's crazy. Now it's like, it's just a different game. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting things about this lifetime ball compared to the Vulcan is you mentioned like true bounces. The ball comes off faster but slows down more, right? Early off of the paddle, it really sort of springs off. But I think since it's got 8 more holes than we're used to with the Vulcan and it feels maybe a little lighter, it seems to slow down and sort of sit up a little bit more for baseliners. Whereas that Vulcan ball would take a little bit more to get going with your stroke, but like move through the court a little bit more. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I think it's faster overall, and it just bounces more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So it's always gonna help out a little bit, like the strikers, right? Like the Chris Haywards, the Hunter Johnsons, probably missing a couple there, and it's gonna be harder for the people trying to drop a little more because just the ball is coming so fast at you. Ben trying to drop and slow down the game. It's just gonna be. I mean, he can still do it. He's an amazing player, but it's just gonna be a little harder.
Yeah.
It just challenges you a little more. But also, I think the volleys. If you can stick those volleys, then you're gonna be in a really good position. Where maybe the Vulcan that's gonna also slow down off your paddle. So there's a couple of things. I always thought like a guy like Jack Sog with this ball, he's gonna get a huge advantage. Like incredible ground strokes. He can cover the court well and he can hit amazing volleys. So like guys like him, are gonna be a problem for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's closer to a tennis ball, and so since it's closer to a
Yes,
tennis ball,
exactly.
the tennis players are gonna have an advantage. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that you see Jeannie Bouchard playing her best ball. You see Donald Young with big wins now at that Atlanta tournament, a breakthrough couple of wins for him, and then Jack Sock is playing incredibly or better than ever before as well. Like it's the closest thing that we've had to a tennis ball, which is gonna help the tennis players.
Yeah.
Um, let's chat.
Sorry, I've said this before, and I think that with that being said, I would like the ball to be a little bit slower, just because I feel like it will be cooler for tennis players to come into pickle, but they have to learn a little more like the pickleball side of it. And I think like if you can just rip, it takes away what pickleball really is. But yeah,
I agree with you, especially in singles. I do find I think you want to have a balance. I don't think the Vulcan ball was a good balance for pro singles because most of the points were 4 or 5 shots or even 3 third shot winners, right? At least now we're getting a little bit more in the way of rallying from baseline, which is good, but we are seemingly missing a lot of those cat and mouse shots now. One of my most entertaining matches of the entire year was when Christian played against Jack Wong in Asia. It was a Yola ball, pickle roll court, no bounce, super slow, everything, and they played so much cat and mouse.
Christian Arsenal and who? Guangdong, is it? No.
Jack Wong. He's a
Jack Wong.
player from Hong Kong.
Yeah, the final, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that one. That was fun.
Yeah. Hour-long, 2-game match. It was like 9 and 5, and it was like an hour and 10 minutes long.
I mean, when you used to play against Jay in the APP, I mean, those were fun ones, you know? I mean, if I watch them now, they look silly. It's like, why you guys are not like finishing the point? It looks like Jay is like making you run everywhere and you're like just going crazy. But yeah, I mean, now with a little more power, I think. Yeah, we got to find that middle ground, I think. That would be nice.
Yeah, I think if you could reduce the pace and the bounciness of the lifetime ball by like 15%, it'd be the perfect ball.
Yeah. And in doubles, you shouldn't be able to literally tag someone anytime you want, you know?
What do you mean? That's what Hayden was doing. That's your partner, bro.
No, that's what I was saying. That's the other thing I was gonna say. Hayden Patriquin is able. I honestly think Hayden Patriquin could literally win matches by just hitting people in the chest. And I don't know if that's, that's crazy, but yeah, he has the ability to do it. He chooses not to do it.
I'm Team Hayden doing it far more often.
No, yeah, it's fun for us, yeah, but we're gonna end up with goggles.
That's honestly probably not I'd be surprised if pickleball doesn't end up requiring eyewear at some point in the future, right? It's gonna be as soon as one player like has a career-ending or a serious eye injury at the pro level, that's when it's gonna happen. To be honest,
it only takes one guy, yeah, or girl.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think that's inevitably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your doubles run with Hayden, and that's where obviously the tears and the emotion all sort of boiled up on Saturday night. But you and Hayden have been a consistent team, a top 5 or top 4 team, definitely part of that big 4 that people have been calling it. Big 4 being Ben and Gabe, Christian and Andre, you and Hayden, and then J-Dub and CJ. But you guys have probably been number 4 in that sort of slot, right? For the majority of the year. If you looked at titles and medals and overall, those other 3 squads are probably a little bit ahead of you there. And so, most people would kill for that to be sort of a down year. But, you and Hayden are still or were still kind of finding some identity. And you had a little bit of even further struggles a little bit later in the summer. So obviously the big strategy switch that you guys made was putting you full-time on the right side. Can you talk about why you weren't right side early on? What made that switch?
Yeah. Well, I mean, last year we won 3 out of 3 tournaments that we played together with me on the left and him on the right. And I thought, it was going to be tough to crack that. The first tournament of the year, we played Ben and Colin. Hayden is really sick. So I was like, I mean, maybe it's just a fluke of match. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a slow death for me on the left, honestly, because like we had matches that didn't go our way. Andrew and Christian started playing really well together, which kudos to them. Like they kind of like took us that number 2 seed by just playing good pickleball and being really dominant. I don't think they get the amount of praise they deserve. They're a really good team. They didn't have the greatest tournament. They got bronze, but they're a really good team and they kind of took that 2 seed. And I just started feeling that the losses, and Hayden especially, was getting frustrated. And then he kind of like felt that he was kind of in a box where he couldn't help out that much. Because Hayden is not really like, he's not gonna be like the steady guy. He needs to be moving.
Yeah.
He needs to be on the
Sure.
move. He needs to be in the move. And when things don't go your way, you want to move more. You want to be, doing things. And we started doing that like a couple of tournaments ago, and Yeah, I mean, Hayden wants to play the left. Hayden wants to play the left, and I just want to win. And he wants to win too, and he thinks that's the way to do it by him on the left, and I'm super okay with it. And I actually really enjoy the right. And he has an aggression style that with this ball, honestly, I think it helps out a little more. His roll dinks, his aggressive dinks are phenomenal and especially with this ball. And I can give him a little more of room to breathe where they can come to me. I'm just gonna make balls, or I can set him up a little more, and I'm just not gonna make unforced errors where he can go for them because it's all good. It's kind of like in the budget kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
felt like early, at least maybe like the second half of summer, like Virginia Beach, Bristol, Vegas, some of those tournaments. Maybe not the first Vegas, but it felt like Hayden was getting a little iced out, and you could just see him getting antsy, right? You'd see him like standing in the center of the court. You'd see him kind of pulling whatever he could get so he could get involved. Like
Yeah.
teams sort of found out, like, all right, hey, we dead dink Fed. He's less dangerous than Hayden, which I think you would probably say is pretty fair.
Yeah.
I think everybody's less dangerous than Hayden,
Yeah.
except for maybe Gabe. But I was wondering like why you guys weren't making that sort of switch, right? You're obviously such a good left side player. However, like Hayden's not really getting involved in some of these points. And then when he does, when he starts to get antsy, he starts to get a little trigger happy, and they don't work the same way as when he's consistently sort of getting the ball.
Yeah. No, the main thing was I know that Hayden can play the left way better than me, and that's not an issue. The biggest thing was me not being at the task on the right. Like the fear was, okay, I can play the right, but am I gonna do it good? Like I might get like screwed. So I took the decision to be like, okay, you know what? Like let's work on the right. And honestly, like the past week or the past month, it's been really enjoyable. It's kind of like I'm like trying to like learn the game again, and it's kind of like it gets me back in that addiction of like I want to go out there and get better because it's kind of like I don't know, it's an extra motivation now, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And
Dude, the last time I remember seeing you on the right side was MLP 2022 when you got drafted with Pickle. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think I've seen Fed consistently on the right side since then. I'm
yeah,
sure there was probably something or another, but
I,
like, did
that
you
was the
play?
last year. Yeah, that was the last year I played the right. I played a couple with James Ignatowicz. I played with Deco. I played with Chuck Taylor. That's when I did my first championship Sunday in the APP tour. Me on the right with Chuck Taylor. But after that year, I played with Pablo Teles. So then I was kind of like, he's lefty, so exclusive on the left. But I was practicing the right a lot because Pablo needed right side things. So I was like, and Pablo likes to hit those things a lot. So I was like maybe like 30 minutes a day with him on the right slicing things there. But yeah, I mean that was kind of what it was.
Yeah. So how'd you train up so quickly? Because you basically went from a month from playing exclusively left for years to now winning a PPA tournament from the right side with Hayden in like less than a month.
Yeah, I didn't expect winning. I was expecting doing good, honestly. After Vegas, I felt like something was clicking really well. We had game points against Ben and Gabe, and I was like it's not like we're playing. It's not that they're playing terrible. Like we kind of like put them in a bad position. Um, but yeah, I mean I'm on the court a lot. Honestly, that's the biggest. That's not a secret, and that's how I can get used to something a little better. Just being on the court, drilling and playing. That's the only way to do it. Honestly, that's how I did it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so let's talk through that match against Ben and Gabe. I'll let you lead it. Why don't you tell us about the actual match itself? Like going into the semifinals at Worlds, you and Hayden had played them 3 times, lost all 3 times. Had you taken a game off of them previously? I think once.
Yeah, no, I think in San Clemente we were good. We were in a really
Okay.
good position. Yeah, it was a 5-setter, a 5-gamer, I think.
Okay. Gotcha. But either way, you guys hadn't won a
Yeah.
full match against Ben and Gabe heading into that Saturday. Take us through that match.
Anytime you have Ben on the court, you don't want to be passive. You know, you don't want to get into the dinks and just making balls and trying to make him miss. You want to like create a little bit of chaos. You know that. So that's kind of like that was my mentality. Just go out there and every time I had an opportunity, do something out of the norm. Honestly, like is that like hitting a lob, like hitting a rolling behind him, attack him. That was kind of like my strategy. And mix up some drives, mix up some crashes. And that was pretty much it, honestly. We went out there, but the biggest thing was the mindset, I thought. Because the biggest problem that we had, me and Hayden, was that every time we were getting down, so like we will like, let's say, win the first game, and then the other team will make an adjustment, and they will be like, I don't know, 4-0 up, and then we will like immediately lose the second game. We had a like big time trouble when being down and I don't know if it was like a mindset thing, like a mental thing, but it was, and I was like, Hayden, let's go out there and let's be on a mission, and then doesn't matter what happens, if it's the wind, the ball, the bounce, the lead, we're just gonna keep going and not find any excuses, because it's super easy to find excuses and try to like give up and be like, this happened, that's it, So I think the mindset was the biggest thing. Like there was wind, there was like a lot of factors happening, and we were kind of like in the mission. We were just focused on winning, and that was it. And I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are plenty of excuses to find when you're looking for them, right? Like, it's crazy how much more focused you are when it's like, when you just take things in stride. It's actually one of the things that we, do, I think, really well on the fives is we don't talk about the crappy courts. Actually, we do. We'll talk about crappy courts, we'll talk about crappy balls, we'll talk about crappy positions until the match starts, and it's done. Like, it's good to address, right? Like, you gotta be ready for it. Like, you gotta be ready for any of this stuff, but then once you're out there, it is the same for everybody. All of those things, in my opinion, are very zero-sum, right? Meaning you could be playing on the worst court ever, right? There could be cracks in it and grass growing up through the top. Like, I'm sure you played on some tennis courts that way, right? Be the worst court ever. It's gonna make you worse. But if it makes your opponent worse, that's a win for you. You should be saying thank you for the crappy conditions, right?
Yeah.
So if you can deal with this stuff better than your opponent, it's a win for you. You should be glad that these things are happening. And so, I mean, that sort of mindset, I think, is super helpful, even for people who are listening that are, especially for people who are listening that are amateur players, right? Just deal with it better than your opponent. Compete better than your opponent. And it's a great opportunity. So, I mean, I think that's probably a bit of just competitive wisdom that you're probably able to give to Hayden, because he gets down on himself a little bit. Like, attacks that work a couple times, he kind of starts getting pissed, starts talking to himself a little bit. And so you're able to get him in this match to just commit, stick to the plan, no excuses, no nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that was Hayden's biggest adjustment for this tournament was he told me at the beginning of the tournament, he told me, I want to win this shit. I really want to win this shit. Let's win this shit. So he's like, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like,
Yeah, agreed.
That sounds good to me. Like he was kind of like on a mission all week. Like every match, I could see him. Like he was not like messing around at all. Like he was warming up before the match. He was like ready, prepared. Like, and even in mixed doubles, I was watching him. I lost to him in mixed doubles. And he's kind of like, like, yeah, as you said, maybe couple months ago, you will yell at him and he will get mad and then do a couple unforced errors. Now it's like you will yell at him and he will like yell at you back with a better point, So his mentality changed a lot, and it's scary to see because like that guy is good. I mean, how he moves for his size is unbelievable. I mean, that guy is literally all over the court.
Yeah,
And
no, dude, he doesn't have incredible reach, but he just gets there,
And that's cool. It's kind of like it shows you like for Pickle, you don't need to be like the most, you don't need to be an NBA player, which is kind of cool. I feel like almost all the sports, you get like rewarded for being tall. Pickle is kind of like you don't really have to.
All right, so you guys stick to the game plan. You win, what was it, 11-8, 11-5, and watching that match, Ben and Gabe hardly even, they didn't really miss too much, right? Like it was winners on a lot of these shots. Like I wouldn't say that they played A+ ball, but I would have said that like this is probably a B+ performance from Gabe and Ben.
Yeah, no, 100% I agree. They didn't play amazing. They didn't play terrible, but it was kind of like we didn't really let them get into the match at all. Like we won the first game, which it could have gone either way. The match we were not playing amazing there, but they were not playing great there. We had like a couple good breaks that went our way at the end, but then the second game starts and we are up 4-0 like literally in a second. So it's like it's super hard for them kind of like to get a momentum going. They tried, and that's what they're really good at. They try to get the momentum back, but yeah, we just were ahead all the time. And that second game, I thought I played really well. Hayden didn't make an error at all. And that was it. I mean, Pickle is fast. Like, you can go like that in a sec.
Yeah. What so obviously you guys win the first game 11-8. What did you feel like was the strategy adjustment from Ben and Gabe? Obviously, like if you guys are executing incredibly, the strategy kind of is secondary to that. But did you see any sort of attempt to change the strategy? Because that's something that Ben does so well, is these mid-match adjustments. Did you see any of that from Ben and Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, when Ben and Colin used to play, and I remember this, and you were beating them, they would be like, okay, we're just gonna dink every ball. We're gonna make everything, and we're gonna make them like suffer, like because I don't know. It's like it was hard to attack them. We were playing with different ball and stuff, but I don't know. It was kind of like hard to go past through them. I think Ben got a little more aggressive on that second game. A couple off the bounce speed ups. He had a couple lead courts there that didn't go his way. But yeah, he came out me a couple with the forehand. He got a couple good, but it was just so fast. Saying I don't know, like it was like I was like 11-3 or 4. I don't remember, but I think Gabe missed a couple things that he shouldn't have missed. And then the wind kind of helped out. That side of the court was a little better. Just had the wind right out of your face. Everything was going in. I could hit a lob like to the fence, and it was landing in the line. Yeah, it was the wind helped us a lot on that one for sure too.
Sure, gotcha. All right, so you guys finish it off in 2 games, match point. You go up for the interview. Ahead of this interview, are you like already feeling emotional, or dude, where did this come from? I've never seen you cry before.
No, I mean, I was just super happy, super proud of myself and Hayden. It's not easy. Like you're traveling all year, you're like literally getting onto a plane, trying to win. You're not winning, you go back, you try again. It's just like, yeah, it's a sport. We're playing a game for a living, but at the same time, it's for me, it means the world, and it's what I want to do every day, and that's what I put all my energy on. So yeah, I mean, it's like when things don't go your way, it's just so hard. You just start thinking like, is this ever gonna happen again? Like, am I gonna win again? Because like the feeling is there and you're chasing it. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of like, I don't know. When the match ended, I started like to tear up a little. I was like, what are you doing? And then when I started talking, I was like, I went off. But I don't know. It was funny. It was funny. It was really
Yeah,
good.
you got so much love for that, dude. And I think love you or hate you, people like I don't think anybody can question how much you want it and how like authentic you are out there. Even on Sunday, right? Where you're putting your arm on Don for the fault call. Like people just love you being yourself out there. And I mean that's a double-edged sword, right? Like you probably
Yeah,
acknowledge there's times where you get pissy, right? There are times where like when we talked in back about that Arizona tournament where you probably
yeah,
behaved in ways that like you don't condone or you're not happy with yourself, but it was yourself, right?
yeah. No, I mean for sure. It's always gonna be myself out there, and I'm always gonna, give my 100% on my own way, and that's gonna be maybe different from what people think is the right way to do it. And I have so much respect for like people that are hungry and want to go out there and achieve so much. Like every time I watch Anna Leigh and on a championship Sunday, she's winning on that women's singles match that is at the end of the day, like people are already like kind of like leaving, and she's like, it means the world for her, and it's it's super cool to see. Andre, Ben, Gabe, all these guys are like Hayden, they're even CJ Dub, like these guys are like super hungry for more and they want to win every week, and that's super cool to see, and it motivates me. It motivates myself to also to try to be like that.
Yeah. Do you think you want it more than these people? Like, where would you like almost rank yourself in terms of just wanting it?
No, I don't know if it's wanting. I'm just like, I'm grateful for the opportunity. That's kind of like how I see it a little more. I'm in this position, and there were so many people that would like to be in this position. So I want to like, show respect to that, and inspire other people to try to do it. If I could be, I can be a top doubles guy. Anybody can, literally anybody can, and I'm being 100% honest. Like if I could make it, literally anybody can. So there's nothing on your way to achieving it.
Wait, elaborate on that. Like, why do you think anybody can do it just because you did?
But I mean, you watched me play at the beginning of my career. Nobody ever would have thought that I would be in this position right now, like playing against Ben and trying to beat Ben in doubles matches. Singles, yeah, singles was natural, was easy, but doubles I had to work. Like doubles I had to like do my research, figure it out, like what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. And now now I keep working, but what I'm saying is just with my skill set at that time and what I become it's a long way. So it's not like, because like when you watch Hayden at the beginning of his career, like the guy is just talented. The guy has so much talent. He's gonna get better and better, but it's a little bit easier when you have that amount of talent. But yeah, for me it was just honestly it was all hard work. It was literally all hard work.
Fair enough. Any advice for people that want to follow along if you say anybody can do it, what's your advice for them?
It's just work hard. It's just work hard and try to find your way to do things and what works for you. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. Yeah, that's probably what I would suggest.
I mean, I think like, one of the things that's always impressed me about you has been like obviously the work effort, but you have to work smart. You're very good at adapting and figuring stuff out. I would put you like, kind of similar to Ben in that when the game changes, you change with it, right? You're not stubborn with what has worked previously. Like you adapt to the new circumstances all the time and change your game, right? You're very, very good at figuring out these little minute details. And so like, yes, hard work, but you got to make sure that you're doing the right work as well, which I think you
100%.
might not be giving yourself enough credit for is like, you've figured out exactly what needs to be done. And when that's crystal clear, working hard, you get 100% efficiency there. Whereas if you're working on the wrong things, no matter how hard you work, you might only get like 50% efficiency.
No, yeah, overworking it's a real thing, and it can hurt you big time. No, yeah, I agree with you. It's because then you're doing the wrong things and you're repeating, like you've been repetitive on those bad habits, and that's not gonna help you. That's gonna hurt you a lot.
Fair. Any comments or anything stick out to you afterwards after you went pickleball viral for the interview?
On the tears thing,
Yeah.
uh, um, no, I honestly, I mean, it happened to me, but I think it's cool that we're starting to see the personalities of everybody. You know, I just love personalities. Doesn't matter who it is, and I like Gabe. Gabe is such an icon. Like the guy is. I mean, the guy, like, he just lost the match and he's like literally happy for Hayden. He's smiling, and he's such a good dude, and I think that's cool to watch that, because it's like in this world where there's so many confrontation, like it's cool to see in a sport where we're like literally being opponents. to also like you can be happy for someone, you know, you can be happy for someone because that's your friend and that's okay. Like he's not being soft, you know, like oh you should have won. Like no, it's okay. Like they played better. He's happy for his friend. I mean, I don't know. Like if there was a camera before the match, Ben, Gabe, Hayden, and I mean, in that tunnel that there's like we're going into the center court, like these guys are literally like Ben, Hayden, and Gabe are like they're putting music, they're like dancing before the match. I'm like, what is going on here? Like they're like literally like dancing around, they're like having a laugh, and then we got into the court and we were like battling. I think that's just super cool. Like these personalities getting together, and we all kind of like have really good camaraderie between us, and I think that's fun to watch. You know,
Love it. Sweet. All right, I was told I gotta on a completely different topic. I was told I gotta ask you about your golf game. I know you're going out and golfing a good amount wherever you can. What's the
who asked you
coolest
on it?
place,
I mean,
or who's the coolest person you've gotten to golf with?
coolest person, I don't know. Coolest person, I'm gonna give a shout out to Dog here. He's a
Oh
cool
yeah,
guy. He's little, but he's a cool guy. I hope this makes it to him.
it'll make it to him.
um, but nah, honestly, yeah, golf has been great because it's kind of like where I put my mind out of pickleball and I just go out and play. We play with Christian a lot. Christian is so funny. Johnny Golver, Hayden. There's another guys out there that play. Eric Onsens. We just had a good fun and in Florida it's great. There's golf everywhere and I don't know. It's cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, of the pro pickleball players you've played with, who's the best golfer and who's the worst golfer?
Who's the worst golfer right now that I play with? Christian can be really inconsistent at times.
It's the biggest pickleball game. All right.
really strong guy, but he can be inconsistent. But I don't want to say he's the worst, but I don't remember. But I just remember him like hitting houses left and right. uh, but honestly, Grayson Golden is a good golfer. Grayson Golden is a really good golfer. I thought he told me he was training for golf for a couple of years. He really hits the ball good.
Yeah,
I heard Jack Stock is
he can
good,
probably hit
but
like 300-yard drives, I would guess, Grayson, huh?
he hits the ball hard. He hits the ball hard.
He doesn't.
I think
There's
that's the
nobody who hits a pickleball harder than Grayson as well.
yes. I think he needs to tune it down a little bit to not inside the lines. But yeah, he can go crazy sometimes. But yeah, he plays some good golf.
Come on, you never. What about Dylan? Is Dylan any good at golf?
No, Dylan Frazier. I wouldn't invite him to a golf course. He was showed up with some Crocs and some underwear and the same shirt he's been using for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, wait. Who else doesn't get invited to these games? Who else doesn't get invited to these foursomes, Fed?
Who doesn't get invited? Hayden gets invited. I'm gonna go through who gets invited, and then Hayden gets invited. Johnny gets invited. Eric Olsen gets invited. Eric Olsen sometimes gets invited. Ronan Cameron. Shout out to Ronan Cameron, singles champ, I think.
Yeah, I think he just won the ATP.
He's a really good golfer too. Yeah, really good golfer too. Domenico Gimignani, professional golfer. He's the one that taught me the game of pickleball. But I don't know. I don't know someone that I don't want to invite. Maybe Grayson. No, Grayson because he's too good. You know,
He's too good.
Nah. But I invite Grayson every time I can.
All right. Well, I want to get to the bottom of who do you think would be the worst? Like, besides the people that you know their game, which pickleball player do you think would be the best and the worst without knowing anything about their game? Just basically like how they go about their stuff on the pickleball court.
That's a good question.
Just completely profiling them with no actual information. That's what we're about here.
I mean, Dylan. I was gonna say Dylan, but Dylan is a baseball guy, so I feel like he's gonna figure it out. Maybe an Spartacus will have a trouble with some distance. Let's say who else could go there.
Let's see. We got like I feel like Riley.
Throw me one.
Yeah, I'll go
Riley?
through I'm gonna go through the men's singles rankings. All right, or the men's doubles rankings. Gabe, probably quirky.
Yeah, really quirky.
Let's see. Have you played with Gabe?
No.
No. I feel like Tyson's just not into golf. Maybe I'm wrong on
No. Tyson. Okay, I forgot about that. I play with Tyson golf a lot. He's crazy about golf, and he's
no way.
good. He's solid. Yeah, he's actually solid. Yeah, forgot about Tyson.
All right. What about I feel like Riley's a good athlete, but I also can't. I don't know about Riley.
I feel like Riley's short game is gonna be like the problem. I feel like he's gonna hit it good, and like he's gonna be like going crazy about it on the putting green.
Yeah, man, this is a bad question. I feel like all these guys in the top 50 of singles look like they'd be pretty decent at golf.
Yeah. I think like pickleball and golf can go together for some reason.
Yeah, well, maybe it's just me. I'm horrible at golf. The last time I golfed was like 10 years ago, where me and my dad went out to a garage sale, bought some clubs, got bored like 6 holes in, and then just smashed a couple clubs and left. And that was they were like $10 garage sale clubs. So maybe that didn't play well either. But
golf takes a while. It's really disappointing. Really disappointing.
Well, sweet. Dude, anything else that you wanted to share?
No, I think it's good. That was good.
Sweet, dude. Well, appreciate you coming on. Yeah, it was good chatting with you, and honestly, congratulations. I can see where at the end of the really long season like this, right? I feel like emotions are running high. I feel like everybody's a little burnt out. I feel like everybody's a little hurt that I've talked to. Like we had somebody come on here and say like pretty much like half of the players are nursing some sort of like, habitual injury. And so I think probably all of that combined with the biggest tournament of the year and combined with your biggest men's doubles win of the year it'd be hard not to get, emotional out there. So I think that's a pretty cool story. And honestly, like a good reminder of what pickleball is about, what pro pickleball is about, and what this means to everybody, especially in a time where, some people are playing as glorified exhibitions without prize money on the line. So I don't know. I think it was a really, really refreshing thing for me to see. So
thank you. Appreciate it. I actually appreciate it.
Sweet. All right.
Thank you so much. All right. Take it easy.
Later, brother.
Yeah.